Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Raleigh PD, working with the Wake County Public Schools, we have determined that there is no threat on campus.
Tense moments this morning at Enloe Magnet High School in Raleigh after reports of a person with a gun.
We want to emphasize that no one was hurt and no gun was found.
We have been on top of this breaking news story since 10:30 this morning, and this is what the scene looked like on the right part of your screen. That's when Sky 5 and police were above police and parents rushed to the school.
Take a listen to police radio traffic that explains what prompted the lockdown and police response at Enloe.
Updated information. Boyfriend sent her a picture that he was here at the football field. Never said he had a gun, never showed a gun. She just told the principal that he is known to carry a gun. So no gun was seen, no gun was insinuated.
We have live team coverage now at noon. WRAL's Matt Tallhelm is on top of the police investigation. We begin with WRAL's Sean Gallagher, who is with parents now relieved. Sean, the school is dismissing for the day in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's right, Renee. And you can see here behind me, a lot of school buses have arrived. There's probably a half dozen, if not more, that just got here to try to pick up those kids at about 12:30, like you said. But we got here on scene, and it was about 10:45 in the morning. A handful of parents already here after they got the alerts that the school was in a lockdown, and tensions were high. They were struggling to get in touch with their kids. But I did speak with one parent who was able to connect with her son over the phone on a phone call, stayed on the phone with him for well over an hour at this point. But they both are looking forward to that connection and trying to make a small sense of comfort here in about a half hour.
I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if anyone was either going to get killed or something. So it kind of had me on, I had to be on my toes a bit. I had to also kind of find, some sort of light in the situation, because if you don't find light in any situation, it's going to make things more difficult for yourself. And it'll also kind of helps with anxiety or stuff like that.
Yeah. How much are you looking forward to seeing your mom?
Oh, I want to see her right now, ASAP.
And that was Randall Crew. He can't wait to see his mom. I'm joined with Nirvana, his mom, right now. I mean, hearing how excited your son is to see you. I mean, what does that mean to you?
That's my pride and joy. This is my only son. He's a senior. He's about to graduate in June and head off to college here in state. And just knowing that he's safe, he's sound, he is of sound mind. And when I tell you cannot wait to see my son, I can. I to my tennis shoes so I can run up this hill to stand beside his vehicle and wait for them to release in just a few minutes.
And you've been here probably as long as we have. I mean, what drove you to get out here as quickly as you did?
As a parent, an involved parent, involved in all things moving here at Enloe, at first when he said they were under lockdown, it seemed like it might have been something that was going to be short and sweet, but then he said something about a possible weapon on campus, and that completely stopped me dead in my tracks, and I knew then that I needed to just be here as a support, even though I couldn't physically get inside the school or to see him or lay hands on him, but just knowing that I was nearby, I wanted to give him some assurance that, I'm nearby and waiting for him to be let out the school.
Yeah, and one of the things that stuck with all of us that heard him talk to us about an hour and a half ago was, this 18-year-old saying that he's drained from this. I mean, when you hear that from a teenager about what he's going through, how does that affect you?
It affects me in a lot of ways because, they do these drills, they practice often, but they never really expect to have to go into a full-on lockdown. So I think initially, once it started, they assumed it might be something that was quick, but then when he found out it was, in fact, a code red, it kind of changed his mindset a little bit. And it's just like, here I am close to the finish line. It's actually senior skip day, and I chose to come to school and be an active participant in my learning. And now here I am sitting in a corner in a classroom, can't get up, can't go to the restroom, can't do anything. That's mentally exhausting and it's mentally draining. Just a few months back, he actually did an interview about weapons and on campus and hoping to never have to experience this. And now, just a few short months later, we're dealing with this issue with his school.
I know you said it's senior cut day. It seems like you've been with a handful of his friends. I mean, is that providing another sense of relief, being able to be with kids that you're familiar with, who are familiar your son?
I am. It's a sigh of relief knowing that, even though they skipped school, but I get it for a good cause. Been a senior before in high school, but just knowing that they're safe, they're sound, and they are also standing by waiting to see their classmates come out of the building. So that's offering some strength and encouragement to my son. He's, gotten a chance to talk with them. They actually watched him on the news today and recorded it and shared it back with him. So he's still on the phone. So he's well aware of what's going on and what's happening with his classmates.
That's great. All right. Well, Randall, we'll see you soon. All right.
Yep.
All right. So Randall, he'll be out here to meet up with his mom about 26 minutes. I'm sure you're counting the time as well.
Yes.
We'll be here for when they reunite and bring that to you later today.
Parents and students ready to embrace each other, and no doubt those hugs will be a little tighter today for sure after this situation. Sean Gallagher, thank you. And just a short time ago, Raleigh police held a news conference explaining what prompted the lockdown.
And WRAL's Matt Tallhelm was there. He is live now on New Bern Avenue. That's right across the street from the school. Matt, we heard a little bit from Raleigh's deputy police chief. Break down a little bit about what he was talking about today's events.
Yeah, well, once again, the good news, everyone is safe. No gun was found on this campus in that search, but you saw that massive police presence out there, so still a lot of attention on that. There is still an investigation ongoing. I want to show you here, we're on the other side of the campus from where Sean is. This is New Bern Avenue and Clarendon Crescent, and you can see over there is a long line of cars that have been lining up here, and really in the last 30 minutes since the all clear was given and the parents were told that the school would release at 12:30. So that entire right lane is just a line of parents coming here to see their kids, to reunite, take them home after what has been such a stressful day. I do want to show you at the intersection over here of New Bern and Clarendon. You do have some of those parents waiting out here with Raleigh police. RPD still has Clarendon Crescent closed. This is the road that goes back to Enloe High School here, so this road is still closed. Parents will be allowed in there soon, though, to go pick up their kids. Here's what the police had to tell us. About 30 minutes ago, they gave us an update. We're told that a student reported to a principal there was someone on campus with a gun. The school was immediately put on that code red lockdown. And as we've seen from Sky 5 all morning, there was a massive police presence out here. Officers rushing to the scene. They did a systematic search. They went hallway by hallway, room by room through the school and determined everything was safe and there was no one with a gun on campus. I did ask the deputy chief, though, about how a threat like this really affects their officers and the entire community here.
Obviously, it has a huge toll, a huge effect on our officers responding to any school with the potential of a firearm being on a campus. That's why you saw the response to get today. We work very well with our law enforcement partners, and we're very thankful for them helping us to clear the school. And obviously, with parents, of course, this is going to have a huge impact on parents as well as student and staff anytime you see a large police presence on a school campus. But it's all to make sure that everyone is safe.
And everyone is safe here, but I'm sure, as we've heard from the parents there and even the students inside here, this is a lot to go through to see officers with their long guns drawn going room by room through your school here. Now, right now, police are not saying if they are still looking for anyone who may have been on campus and left campus. That was a question that was asked of the deputy chief. He just would say this is still an investigation into exactly what was reported from that student to a principal. But as you can see out here, they are still blocking off New Bern and Clarendon, waiting to let parents in there to pick up their students when this school leaves out. Now an early dismissal at 12:30 here.
And Matt, before you go, you mentioned a little bit about what the principal responded to that last question regarding were they looking for anyone. He mentioned again about the principal being told something that sparked this investigation. Have you had any success trying to actually hear from the principal about this?
No, I mean, obviously, the principal's obviously dealing with a lot right now. We did think that the principal may come over and talk with us at the press conference about a block away here 30 minutes ago, but we have not heard from the principal, from the school itself, about what exactly that threat was that prompted all of this. That is something, though, that RPD and Wake County Public Schools are investigating together here. There is an SRO at this school at Enloe, so that SRO was there, immediately responded, called in more police officers here to respond to this scene.
All right, no threat, no gun found. Matt Tallhelm reporting live in Raleigh. Thank you, Matt. And students will be dismissed in less than 30 minutes at Enloe. Matt and Sean will be there, and we're going to check in with both of them at 12:30. Raleigh police are also working to make an arrest after 2 people were hurt in a shooting downtown. Police responded to Haywood Street near Hay Lane around 7:15 last night. They learned 2 people were shot and taken to the hospital in a private car. A man was seriously injured and a woman is expected to recover. We're working to find out if police have any information on the shooter. And hundreds of jobs are coming to North Carolina.
Specifically to Pitt County in eastern North Carolina. We first broke this news on WRAL.com. Now Governor Roy Cooper is set to make it official. WRAL's Noah Klein is here now with the specifics on the new opportunities and money coming to our state. Noah.
Renee, the stage here is literally set. Live pictures coming in from this announcement. Just getting started here, expected to start any moment. We know, of course, this is a big announcement in Pitt County. 3 key nuggets I want to give you here. In just the last hour, this is the name of the company, Bovet Solar, coming to the county. It's going to bring 908 jobs. This is all part of a bigger picture, $294 million North American expansion for the company. This is the biggest jobs announcement in the state so far this year. The average annual salary for these planned positions expected to be $52,879, according to state officials. You see Governor Roy Cooper here coming up to the stage, expected to make this announcement. Commerce officials approved this incentives package worth up to $16.4 million. That includes a jobs development grant of up to $8.3 million. This money is all going to be paid out in installments. That's if the company hits some of its hiring targets. We should mention this is just the latest investment coming to the state. Vietnamese company VinFast and semiconductor chip Wolfspeed coming to Chatham County, along with Toyota coming to Randolph County. We'll continue to monitor live pictures coming in from Governor Roy Cooper's announcement. Eric Miller will have the latest coming up on our evening news, and we'll stream it for you live on WRAL.com.
Exciting economic news. Noah, thank you. The Biden administration is cracking down on financial companies who give bad retirement advice. The goal of the new Labor Department regulation is to put the client's interests over the company's. Some finance groups say the rules could cut off affordable advising and are unnecessary. The change is set to take effect on September 23rd. Plans for a new sports complex and community center in the town of Cary are gaining popularity among town leaders. Developers shared these images at a public hearing, highlighting the vision to reimagine South Hills Mall off I-440 at Buck Jones Road. Representatives behind the project are seeking approval to have the area rezoned to bring the vision to life. Plans will now be referred to Cary's Planning and Rezoning Board for review before returning to Town Council at a later date.
WRAL has been following that breaking news at Enloe Magnet High School in Raleigh. The school has been given the all clear.
Coming up in our next half hour, we will go back live to Enloe to see when students and parents are reunited. Elizabeth.
And our skies are beginning to clear. We take a look at our satellite, and you can still see some cloud cover in our southern and western counties. I'll show you how much more sunshine we'll see and how much that will allow us to warm up this afternoon. Coming up.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.
We're following breaking news from UNC Chapel Hill. A pro-Palestinian tent encampment has formed on campus.
The group called UNC Students for Justice in Palestine says that they are behind this. They say they are joining the nationwide movement protesting the war in Gaza.
WRAL's Monica Casey joins us live on campus where the tents have been set up there on Polk Place. We can see that behind you, Monica.
Yeah, Renee, that's right. We have seen protests like this at universities around the country. Right now, this crowd over here behind me looks to be about 100 people. It's grown a bit since we have been here. This is led by the UNC SJP, that stands for Students for Justice for Palestine. They have demands for the university, calling on UNC to disclose any investments and divest from any companies connected to Israel. They say this encampment is to show solidarity with the victims of violence in Gaza. You can see some of the signs here asking questions such as, what have you done to stop the genocide? A big sign says Gaza Solidarity Encampment. This is a busy time on the UNC campus right now. It looks like some people are headed to class, so there are a lot of people around this area. It's certainly a central spot for these students and faculty to have their message heard here. However, we are seeing a small law enforcement presence of UNC police on the outskirts of this area here, just kind of monitoring what's going on. Right now, people in the circle over here are working on laptops or listening to music and discussing things with each other. Chris?
Monica Casey reporting live. Thank you, Monica. The United States and 17 other countries are demanding that Hamas release all the hostages it holds in Gaza. The Biden administration is trying to increase global pressure on the militant group. NBC's Ralph Sanchez has the latest from Tel Aviv.
An Israeli official tells NBC News that a delegation of Egyptian mediators are here in Tel Aviv today, and they are carrying with them a proposal designed to jumpstart these long-stalled ceasefire negotiations. Now, a previous proposal had suggested a 6-week ceasefire in Gaza in exchange for the release of 40 hostages from the so-called humanitarian category. So that is women, children, the elderly, people with serious medical conditions. Hamas has indicated that it does not have 40 living hostages who fit that criteria. So the Egyptians today are suggesting a new formula that would involve the release of 33 hostages from that category. Israel's cabinet is studying that proposal. No final decision has been made yet, but it comes after months and months of deadlock. Israel is continuing to threaten to move ahead with its ground offensive in the city of Rafah. We have seen intensive bombing there over the last week. But as of yet, no sign of large-scale Israeli ground forces closing in on the city. The White House has said it opposes any Israeli operation in Rafah without a credible plan to move those million-plus Palestinian civilians out of harm's way. Ralph Sanchez, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
Palestinian protesters remain in place at dozens of college campuses across the nation, including at George Washington University in D.C. That's despite an order from the school to leave. The students are calling on the school to divest its financial holdings from any defense contractors.
Just before midnight, the Carolina Panthers hit us with a plot twist. They traded up and added their newest player with the 32nd and final pick of round 1 of the NFL draft.
With the 32nd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Xavier Legette, wide receiver, South Carolina.
That was NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell not quite nailing the name there. It's actually Xavier Legette. This was the moment Legette and his family learned that he would be the newest Carolina Panther. He gives quarterback Bryce Young another weapon to throw to. The Panthers traded the 33rd overall pick to Buffalo to get him. UNC quarterback Drake May is on his way to New England. The Patriots picked him 3rd overall in the draft. He was one of 5 quarterbacks taken in the top 10. It's the first time that has ever happened. Duke's Graham Barton also had his name called in the first round. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers took the offensive lineman with the 26th pick of the draft.
All right, things warming up outside as you are going out there right now, maybe enjoying lunch and you're watching WRAL News. At the same time, we've got meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner outside. Beautiful day at the gardens behind you there, Elizabeth. People are definitely getting outside to enjoy it.
You know, we started cool, cloudy, breezy, and I was very comfortable in my jacket. And so I got my jacket ready to come out here on the patio, and I walked out. I was like, oh, no jacket required. It really does feel nice. Sunshine makes a huge difference. It's still a little bit breezy out here, but again, with the sunshine, we're feeling good. Of course, here's a live look at the gardens. Not as busy maybe as it has been. It is Friday. The weather was cloudy this morning. It's a little on the cool side, and we have lots of things blooming. Just a reminder, you can come out to the gardens any old time. There are some people out here enjoying it. 63 is our current temperature. Northeast wind at 6 miles per hour. That northeasterly wind fed some cloud cover in this morning. Some cooler temperatures. That wind was coming off the Atlantic and made for a cool start this morning. We're going to be warming up slowly today. We'll hit 70 degrees briefly around 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon, but we're not looking at temperatures that are going to be terribly warm. Now, we have a big warm up in our forecast as we get into the second half of the weekend. Here's that satellite again. again, notice there's a lot of cloud cover back to the west, a little bit of cloud cover down in Sampson County that is still lingering, but for the most part, we're starting to clear out nicely. Now, tomorrow, we're going to see a warm front that moves through. That warm front right now is crossing Tennessee. That's going to cross our area tomorrow and feed more cloud cover back in, sort of a different pattern than what we saw this morning, but we will end up clouding up. Now, the rest of the day today is not looking bad at all. We'll see partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies, maybe a little bit of cloud cover on and off. This is 8 p.m. this afternoon. Once we get into late tonight, early tomorrow, that warm front moves in, and watch how we cloud up. So that's Saturday at 6 a.m. There's 9 a.m. Not likely to see any rain, but we will cloud back up again. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine later in the afternoon. But Saturday's looking pretty gray for us. The rest of the day today, if you follow the cloud cover, we're going to drop it down to 30 or 40% cloud cover. But then early tomorrow morning, we'll see those clouds thickening back up. A little breezy in spots. We're gusting to 18 in Fayetteville. The wind's coming out of the northeast, for the most part steady at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Again, probably going to be some gusts on and off to around 15. Our temperatures right now are mostly in the low to mid 60s, some upper 50s in a few spots. At the surface, our wind is coming out of the northeast right off of the ocean, and so that's why we've had enough moisture for the cloud cover. 74 this afternoon in Raleigh, 68 in Durham, 74 in Fayetteville. If you're headed out to Brugalo, it's going to be nice. Temperatures will be in the 60s this evening in downtown Raleigh, so head out. No matter what you have planned, it's going to look good. Now, the cool temperatures that we've seen lately will be replaced by some warmer temperatures that are back to the west, and we're going to see that big jump as we get into the weekend. So take a look at this. Going to 87 on Monday, 88 Tuesday, 89 on Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday in particular will be fairly close to record highs. It's also very dry. We're going to talk about what our dry weather is doing to us coming up.
See you in just a bit, Elizabeth. Thank you. All right, so you've likely heard the phrase reduce, reuse, recycle, but some products are harder to break down than others. We'll show you how some companies are making this possible.
We're getting a closer look at the future of ride hailing. Tesla's future plans for you to be able to order a ride without a driver. A lot of material ends up in our landfills. Some are biodegradable, but other waste is not, like styrofoam. NBC's Zinkley Esimwa takes us to a company in New Jersey that's reinventing how the product is recycled and reused.
So the first step is actually we have a densifier, which takes the foam, puts it in, it chips it up. It melts it through a warming tube, and then it comes out through the densifier.
Multiple companies recycle foam. Foam Cycle is one of them, partnering with municipalities across the country, turning lightweight polystyrene into a heavy and dense product.
Pick up one ingot.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's not light. About how heavy is this?
About 40 pounds.
40 pounds, okay.
The ingots go to a recycling center.
Yes.
And they chip it up into these pellets. They're able to make any kind of molding boards.
Foam Cycle says they recycled over 180,000 pounds of foam nationally in 2021 with their patented technology. Translation, around 145,000 cubic feet diverted from a landfill.
What kind of foam do you take?
We take the packing polystyrene, not the more rubbery foam.
Regardless of type, polystyrene is notoriously difficult to recycle.
Styrofoam in the environment is a big concern. Number one, it's hard to recycle. Number two, those little pieces of styrofoam, can get out on our beaches, go into our waterways.
Do you think a material like polystyrene should be created or used at all?
Polystyrene definitely has its uses, right? So it's used in insulation. I'm sure the lightweight aspects of it is very important. But when we're just going to the coffee shop, grocery store, it just gets to be too much.
Let's see if we can recycle that. That was Zinkley Esimwa reporting. In 2019, Maine became the first state to pass a ban on polystyrene foam. New York State followed suit in 2020. In all 6 states and the District of Columbia have banned foam in some form.
We're going to give you a live picture over Enlow Magnet High School where students are, and about 4 minutes are expected to dismiss early. That's because of that code red situation that has now been all cleared. We're going to get you more information on that reported person on campus with a weapon who officials are now saying that did not happen there. No threat, no gun found. Stay with WRAL News. We'll be back in just a bit.
Welcome back. We're staying on top of this breaking news story since 10:30 this morning. As of now, Enloe High School in Raleigh is dismissing students early after that code red lockdown has been cleared.
And WRAL's Sean Gallagher, he has been waiting to speak with some parents there. I think we just got him there right now. Sean, what are you seeing from parents? What are they telling you right now?
Well, I just had a parent that I was going to talk to, but they've all taken off. The police are allowing people to get back up into the school to go meet their kids that are there. You can kind of see that there are some students that they were out for senior cut day. They're running out there right now to try and get back to their friends. And, it's been, a lot of high tension out here. Yes, a lot of these parents and friends, they knew that everything was okay, but that's one step in that relief process. But now being allowed to get back up there, this is where, the relief is really going to set in as they are able to meet back with their loved ones and, hug them a little tighter. We've been saying that all day, that yes, some of them have been able to connect with their kids through the phone, whether it's text message, FaceTime, or just a phone call. That's been a relief in itself to hear that they're okay, but actually seeing them is a whole nother story. Now, these police here, they've held everybody back except for the buses to get in, but now you can see they're in the process of letting parents in there with their cars on foot to try and see their kids for the first time since they went to school today. This is going to be a much different kind of way to see their kids on a Friday afternoon than they expected, but one that's going to bring about a lot of relief. The mother that we spoke to, Nirvana, her son was on the phone this entire time with her. They weren't really talking for a lot of it, but you could tell just having him on the phone with, as that second kept counting on her iPhone there, that all of that meant the world to both of them. He said, all of this has been draining to him, but seeing his mom, he couldn't wait. He said he wanted to see her as soon as possible, and that they're going to reunite here in just a couple of minutes, I'm sure, and we're going to try to get up there to meet with them to see how they're doing today.
I can understand why parents would take off. I mean, they've heard about what's happened. They've seen their child. They want to get them and take them home. So I understand that. Sean Gallagher reporting live for us. Thank you, Sean.
And Sean briefly touched on this. It is a senior skip day there at Enloe High School. The seniors are nearing graduation. They have the option to skip school today, so there are fewer students on Enloe's campus, but nice to see that the seniors are checking in on those other students. We want to get back to another breaking story that's unfolding right now in Chapel Hill. A pro-Palestinian tent encampment has formed on campus, and it's continuing to grow.
And this is very new. It's unfolding right now. UNC Students for Justice in Palestine say that they are joining the nationwide movement that's protesting the war in Gaza. And WRAL's Monica Casey, she is joining us live from the campus again. Monica, I can see the people there behind you. What has changed in the last 20 or so minutes since we've seen you?
Yeah, Chris, we have been here for about 45 minutes, and over that entire time, we've seen this crowd growing bit by bit. If you take a look here behind me, it's still about 100 people here. They have a big sign saying Gaza Solidarity Encampment. I spoke with one of the organizers a few moments ago who tells me they will be here as long as they can today. Obviously, we're seeing about 24 tents or so, and I asked if she will be sleeping out here tonight if she can, and she said she will. Chris mentioned there it's led by UNC SJP, that stands for Students for Justice for Palestine. They are demanding UNC disclose any investments and divest from any companies connected to Israel. They have some large signs here illustrating those demands, and they say this encampment is to show solidarity with the victims of violence in Gaza. It's not just UNC students we are seeing here. We're seeing some possible faculty members or members of the Chapel Hill community joining this group now. We've seen them walking up from the street over here. So this is growing bit by bit. It's very peaceful right now. You might be able to hear a little bit of the music that's playing right now. A lot of people are sitting in a big circle over here. Some people are working on their laptops, even doing some homework over here. We're seeing a small law enforcement presence of UNC police that are just monitoring the situation here. We have not seen any interactions between police and the students and groups here as of right now. Still very peaceful. Chris, Renee?
All right. Thank you, Monica Casey, joining us live there at UNC Chapel Hill's campus. Now, we're following that story, obviously the situation with Enloe High School, but we have another breaking news story, this time in eastern Wake County. That's where a flatbed truck carrying a manufactured home has crashed.
This has happened at Wendell Falls Parkway at Pool Road. Brett Neese just arrived on scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Brett, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Renee, it happened about an hour or so ago, and you can see behind me that this entire road, Wendell Falls Parkway, shut down because of this crash. I'm going to step behind the camera and show you a little bit of what I'm seeing here. This manufactured home on the back of this flatbed was too tall, and when it came through here, you can see it actually took down some cable wires and some power lines right there strewn across the road on Wendell Falls Parkway. Duke Energy out here, they've been turning the power off so they can start to cut those lines, repair those lines, and then eventually reopen this road. But it's shut down right here at Pool Road and Eagle Rock Road. It's a pretty important stretch, Wendell Falls Parkway, as you're trying to get into Wendell, so you're going to have to use the detours that they are setting up right now. Martin Pond to Eagle Rock Road would be a good alternate route if you're coming in this way. And then some of the other major roads like Wendell Boulevard is another good alternate route. But I'm going to stay out here and let you know when this reopens. Back to you.
All right, Brittany's live there at Wendell's Fall Parkway and Pool Road in eastern Wake County.
All right, the number of births in the United States took a plunge this year. What sociology experts say could be behind that drop.
We're going to take you back live to Enloe High School in Raleigh, where the buses have pulled up. Early dismissal happening, parents picking up their kids after the code red lockdown situation. No threat was found, no gun was found, and students and teachers are calling it a day. We'll be back with more.
New numbers reveal another drop in the number of births last year.
Although there were just under 3.6 million babies born in 2023, it's still the lowest figure since 1976. Chanley Painter takes a closer look at the numbers and what's behind the drop.
Whitney Houston once sang, "I believe the children are our future." But new provisional data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has some wondering just how bright that future will be, with the number of U.S. births dropping last year. A little under 3.6 million babies were born in 2023, down 2% from the year before. But this sliding trend isn't new. Births have been falling in the U.S. for more than a decade before the COVID-19 pandemic. Once the coronavirus took the world by storm, births plunged by 4% from 2019 to 2020. While rates increased in the 2 years that followed, the upward momentum is hitting a roadblock.
The level of fertility that we're seeing is not super low.
Sociology expert Nicholas Mark doesn't think it's cause for concern just yet.
Especially in the U.S.'s high levels of immigration, there's no population decline that's going to happen because of this.
The CDC data shows birth rates for all women under the age of 40 fell last year, while rates for women in their 40s remained flat. A potential factor could be the high cost of living. A recent survey from personal finance company NerdWallet found only 27% of non-parents under the age of 60 plan to have kids. Many others say they're just too expensive.
That was Chanley Painter. The CDC data is based off more than 99% of all of last year's birth records. The numbers could slightly change once all birth certificates are reviewed.
It's an exciting day here at WRAL. We are teaming up with the Downtown Raleigh Alliance for a 4-part summer concert series. That's why we're going to talk live with the Director of Events and Business just minutes away. Downtown Raleigh Alliance is going to present the return of Live After 5, a 4-part summer concert series. And this year, the performances will focus on celebrating women's music with an electrifying series that promises to appeal to everyone. Lucy McGinnis, the Director of Events, is here to tell us about Live After 5. Lucy, you have such an impressive lineup. Who can we look forward to hearing from?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm so excited about Live After 5. Downtown Raleigh Alliance, our mission is really about advancing the vitality of downtown for everyone. And we get to do that in a lot of really fun ways, especially free and open to the public events. So this year we're going to do a celebration of women in music. So you can expect Kate Rudy to do a Taylor Swift set.
Okay.
The likes of Blue Cactus doing their own renditions of Dolly Parton iconic songs.
Okay.
So instead of leaning into the cover music necessarily, we're working with celebrated local artists that are regional and now getting to be national fan favorites, do their own renditions of women in music and iconic female anthems. And we will be ending the series with the national act, Sixpence None the Richer.
Okay, very cool, very cool. And I'm curious, what are you most excited about this event? You have to put it on, so what are you most hyped about?
I am a Swiftie. So I am really excited about Kate Rudy doing her own versions of Taylor Swift, but Alora Dash is also going to be performing Beyonce, Tracy Chapman. We'll have some No Doubt and Blondie covers with 22 Strings, another female-led band.
So tell me a little bit, why do you continue to bring Live at 5, right? Like, what is it about it that this area definitely needs for people to enjoy for the music scene?
Yeah, well, so first and foremost, we always want to have all of our events be super accessible, and that includes cost. So all of our events are at a whopping ticket price of $0. So it is free, it's open to the public. It'll be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the last Wednesday of every month, May, June, July, and August. And by ending it at 8 p.m., you can hit up some of the fabulous dinner places we have in downtown Raleigh. It's also going to be open to sip and stroll. So we will have wine and beer for purchase on site with local businesses and other downtown breweries. But you can also stop by Neptune's, or you can stop by Young Hearts and grab a sip and stroll cup and walk on down.
We talked a little bit about, again, this year's focus is on celebrating women's music. What was the inspiration behind that?
I mean, I'm a woman, and I wanted to do something I would want to see. And
I can understand that.
Last year we celebrated kind of the nostalgia vibe. This year we really wanted to challenge ourselves to put women in the spotlight and the forefront, and we thought it was really cool and fun and engaging and kind of easy to get theme for folks. And we just have so many incredibly talented female artists locally.
And real quick, besides music, what else is there for people to enjoy there too?
There's going to be food trucks, wine and beer tents, some other little surprise experiential stuff. And we're, of course, prioritizing and wanting to spotlight all of our downtown businesses.
All right, Live at 5, a 4-part summer concert series. You've been hearing from Lucy McGinnis, the director of events. So many people are going to go to this. You can look on your screen right there to tell you the different days these events are going to be happening. It's going to be a very exciting time, and hope you come out. Thanks so much, Lucy.
Thank you.
So exciting. Another reason to look forward to summer. You think live music, outdoor concerts. Good times and good vibes. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner on the WRAL garden patio there, weather patio, and lots of sunshine. And soon we will feel those summer temperatures, Elizabeth.
Ooh, we will. We're going to see highs that are almost at records for much of next week. But I'll tell you what, it feels fantastic out here on the patio. Beautiful sunshine, low humidity, a pleasant breeze. We're sort of sheltered by the building. It's going to be a little gusty as we head through the afternoon. But look at all this sunshine. We have a live look at Goldsboro, Apex, Chapel Hill, and Fayetteville. They're looking at our newsroom, Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. It's just a lovely, lovely Friday. It's fantastic. Take a look at our satellite again, and you can see how we've cleared out fairly nicely. A lot of clouds back in western North Carolina, and that's closer to where we have a warm front. And that warm front is going to lift northward across our area tomorrow, and that's going to bring us a better chance for cloud cover. Now, there's a good bit of rain associated with that warm front, but we're not going to see any of that. We're seeing rain in western North Carolina right now. None of that makes it into our area, but it will be cloudy. So we take a look at Futurecast. For the rest of the day today, we're seeing mostly sunny, partly cloudy skies with a good bit of cloud cover back to the west. That takes us all the way up until early Saturday morning. So here's 6 a.m. That warm front's moving across the area, and we're seeing the gray skies. We might end up with a few breaks of sunshine, but it's not going to look like this, most likely. During the afternoon, we might scatter out to partly cloudy, but you can see Futurecast still holding on to a good bit of cloud cover, maybe a sprinkle. There's not going to be anything measurable. So when the latest drought monitor came out, it expanded to cover the entire viewing area in terms of abnormally dry conditions. And so we are running behind. This is a look at our calendar for rain for April. We saw some rain the first 2 weeks, but so far we've had less than an inch of rain for the whole month. That puts us at almost 2 inches behind for the month. And so with the very warm temperatures we saw a few weeks ago in the 80s, and with the 80s that are headed our way and the dry pattern that continues, we may end up with a flash drought. Hopefully we're just going to keep it right there at abnormally dry, but we may start to move into moderate drought here with the current conditions. Rain chances are almost zero for the next week or so, but the flip side of that is it's great weather for getting outside. Spring days tomorrow at Bond Park in Cary. We will see mainly cloudy skies, but that'll keep it feeling pleasant. We'll see highs in the mid-70s during the afternoon. This is a live look at downtown Raleigh, 63 degrees right now, and you can see the tents going coming up. This is for Boogaloo. And Boogaloo this evening will be pleasant. Tomorrow it'll be cloudy, but nice in terms of our temperatures. Expect low to mid 70s. The Courage play the rain at home. On Saturday, night temperatures will be in the 60s. And this is a live look at Fayetteville, where they have the tent set up. What a busy weekend. Mostly cloudy on Saturday in Fayetteville, partly cloudy on Sunday for the Fayetteville Dogwood Festival, which is one of their biggest events of the year. So pleasant temperatures today and tomorrow. We creep up to 82 on Sunday. The humidity stays low, and then the heat is on with temperatures almost at records. We may end up seeing our first 90-degree day of this year by next Wednesday.
Elizabeth, not ready for that, but if it's going to come, we'll just have to embrace it. Thank you. We're getting an idea of just how much people plan to spend on Mother's Day gifts this year. How this year compares with previous years when we return.
It has been a busy afternoon with multiple breaking news stories unfolding in the last 60 minutes.
As we wrap things up here, let's take a look at the big stories we're following today. Right now, students are reuniting with their parents outside Enloe High School in Raleigh. The school went into a code red lockdown around 10:30 after reports of a gun on campus. About an hour later, Raleigh police said no gun was found and there was no threat, and school dismissed for the day at 12:30.
And now you're looking live at UNC Chapel Hill's campus, where more breaking news unfolding. Dozens of tents are up in Polk Place, and about 100 people are gathered there protesting the violence in Gaza. The group UNC Students for Justice for Palestine say they are joining the movement impacting college campuses across the country, and WRAL's Monica Casey is going to be on that story today.
And expect traffic delays in the next few hours near Pool Road and Wendell Falls Parkway. That's because a flatbed truck moving a manufactured home crashed and brought down some power lines. Wendell Falls Parkway is closed while crews move the truck and repair the power lines. Detours will be marked in that area of Wake County.
Mother's Day is nearly 2 weeks away, and the big question is, how much you spending on mama this year? Well, this year consumers are expected to spend a near record $33.5 billion on Mother's Day. That's the second highest since the organization began annual consumer surveys. Most of the money will go toward jewelry, special outings, electronics, and flour. And the average sum that a person is expected to spend will be as little over $250.
Boeing and NASA are moving forward with a historic crewed launch of a new spacecraft. After years of setbacks and delays, Boeing's Starliner spacecraft is finally ready to make its inaugural launch with the crew. The Starliner will carry 2 NASA astronauts to the International Space Station. The mission could take off from Florida as soon as May 6th.
Our pet of the day isn't off to space, but Apollo would love to join your family. This happy-go-lucky fella is 2 years old, weighing 44 pounds. It's so hard to read the script when I'm just trying to look at the dog. Apollo loves playing with other people as well as other dogs. He knows how to sit and is learning a few more tricks from the staff at the SPCA. And there's a reason that Apollo is wearing ducky pajamas. It's the Dogs in Ducky Pajamas adoption special at SPCA Wake. All adult dogs adopted through the end of April will leave with their very own personal pair of ducky pajamas. For more information about Apollo, you can visit spcawake.org.
The PJs are so cute, but so is his expression. Now, if you're a diligent bill payer, but you're still being denied loans and paying higher interest rates, the reason might be errors on your credit report. Today at 4, 5 on your side shares how to fix those errors and put your financial future back on track.
Tesla is giving us a look into its future. It's going to allow you to be able to call for a ride and a car shows up without a driver. The company says it plans for hailing features to be available in its Tesla app. It could include a summon button. The ride-hailing options could also be a mix between cars owned by Tesla and vehicles that are owned by customers. Tesla says it has invested in making the vehicles autonomous for this service, but the company hasn't quite said when the ride-hailing feature will be available.
That's a whole new frontier. Not ready for it, but it's here.
People are embracing it.
Autonomy, no drivers. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update in 30 minutes.
And a reminder, you can get breaking news anytime with their WRAL News app. We've got updates. Turn those notifications on. We'll see you in a little bit.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.